What's up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 4 of Beyond Bounds. We know we had us a little break or whatever. Sorry about that. We had a bunch of schoolwork and stuff to catch up on and all that. But, anyways, on to the podcast. Welcome back. It's episode 4, and we have a lot to talk about. I mean, man, given this entire past week has just been crazy, especially in the world of basketball. And that's where we're gonna start off today. We're gonna start off in the NBA with the trade deadline ending on Thursday. Man, so much happened up until then. And actually, I want to start from the most recent and then get to the biggest one, which we all know what that is. And
Yeah.
if you don't, you'll find out. But let's start off with the most recent being Terrence Mann and Bones Highland of the Los Angeles Clippers going to the Hawks. And the Hawks had traded away Bogdanovich. How do you feel about that one?
Um, I mean, I'm not saying I'm surprised that the Clippers gave up Terrence Mann. Terrence Mann, he haven't been at his best this year, but I mean, he was a productive role player, and I kind of knew Atlanta kind of wanted to get rid of Dominic because he's an aging veteran under contract. And I wouldn't be surprised they got rid of Capella soon too. But yeah, I kind of like the trade for the Clippers. They bring in a veteran and they bring in another shooter, with that Clippers team.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. And I think that the Hawks are definitely looking to rebuild around Trey. And I think we'll also mention another trade they had later. They have as well, but just they're moving around some pieces and trying to get some more scores in and all that, and guys who can help on defense as well is very important for them. So I can see this as a good trade in my opinion.
Yeah.
And next is the Hawks as well. They traded away DeAndre Hunter and got Karis LeVert from the Cavs. So the Hawks gang got Karis LeVert, George Niang, and 3 second-round picks and 2 pick swaps, while the Cavs got DeAndre Hunter.
Yeah.
So
I think it was an amazing trade for the Cavs.
yeah,
I have, kind of always said I think Boston was still kind of the favorites in the West. I mean, not the West, I mean the East. Correction, the
mhm,
East. But I mean, DeAndre Hunter has been balling out this year, and you add him to to this hot Cavs teams with that offense.
yeah,
Cavs is a dangerous team. And is definitely now can give
yeah,
Boston.
exactly.
They can give Boston a run for their money, and yeah, Cavs
hmm
are one of the best teams in the best rosters and got potential for a championship now. I think that puts them
Yeah,
over the
the
edge.
the Cavs are definitely one of the best teams in the East, and with them adding DeAndre Hunter, that only adds to it. So I think this honestly puts them over the hump. And for me personally, they're my favorites to win the East this year, as long as they can, perform solidly and stay healthy during the playoffs. Then yes, I think that with DeAndre Hunter coming in as another scorer, a great defensive guy as well, you'll definitely get a bunch more of a better functioning team towards the playoff time as well.
Yeah, I can see that.
And on to Phoenix. The Phoenix Suns traded away Yusuf Nurkic for Cody Martin. Cody Martin is now a former player of the Charlotte Hornets, who got Nurkic and a 2026 first round pick, while the Suns got Cody Martin, Vasily Mikic, and a 2026 second round pick. So I think this is honestly a lose for the Suns, in my opinion, only because you now have your primary big man is now Bobo, who honestly has not been the most reliable. But I also understand you have a scorer in Cody Martin as well. So yes, you win in that aspect, but overall, I think you lose because you have a shorter handed front court now.
Yeah, but I think Phoenix really just wanted to get out. I think they've been trying to get out their Nurkic contract for a while now, like the past 2 years maybe. And
hmm
I mean, I'm not saying Nurkic and Nurkic, he's not. I mean, he's a big guy and he plays with he has a lot of size, but at times he doesn't use all that size. And I'm not gonna say he's a liability on defense, but he's not the rim protector you would think he'd be. So I see why Phoenix moved on for him. I mean, they got a decent player. They got another wing in Cody Moore. I think he might be okay for him. But yeah, I mean, Bobo that big.
And the Kings, we're going to move on to them, and we'll talk about them again later as well. They acquired Jonas Valanciunas from the Wizards. I think that the front court of Sabonis and Valanciunas will definitely be a threat in the California state when it comes to that division. But I'm a fan of it personally. I like that front court, and I think that with Levine in town, which we'll get into that later as well. I think that will definitely help the Sacramento Kings with their loss of De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, yeah. Valanciunas been playing some good ball, and I wonder like if they're gonna try some lineups with Sabonis at the four and put Valanciunas at the five.
Hmm.
I mean, that could work out. I mean, you have a lot of size, and we know how great of a rebounder Sabonis is. And
Yeah.
Valanciunas is a big body down there, so yeah, I like the move. And they didn't give up too much for him, so yeah, I like the move.
Now we're gonna go right down the road to your LA Lakers. And this one right here was rather questionable. It was not expected on my end. The Lakers traded away their draft pick Dalton Connect to the Hornets. That really surprised me. I was not expecting that. The Hornets got Dalton Connect, Cam Reddish, and a 2031 unprotected round pick and a 2030 pick swap, while the Lakers got Mark Williams. So y'all got a big man, yes, but you lost what I personally thought was like the key to your future in Dalton Connect. So how do you feel about that as a Laker fan too?
First of all, I was a big fan of Dalton Connect. He's a great 3 point shooter. He's a pure scorer. He can score the ball. But honestly, I like the move. Mark Williams is a young guy. Mark Williams still 23, and
Hmm.
Mark Williams is averaging 16 and 10 this year, and that's exactly what we kind of need. And I'm not
Yeah,
saying Mark Williams is a lockdown defender, big man, but he can defend at a solid level. And we needed a big man. We know we did. We needed one bad, and we had to make that move. And Mark Williams playing good basketball right now. I think he got the longest wingspan in the NBA. Yeah, the longest wingspan in the NBA, longer than Wemby somehow. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I get what people saying with Dalton Connect and all that, but I mean, I think we still need to focus on, we still want to win now, and I think
yeah,
and we need a bid, we needed a bid, because Jackson, I'm not taking no away from Jackson Hayes, but Jackson Hayes at the five just wasn't going to cut it,
yeah. It wasn't.
And everybody talking Dalton Connect, but do you want to give up Reeves? Did you want to give up Rui? I don't think so.
Mm,
I
not
mean,
really.
Dalton Connect is a baller, and I think he's going to be a great player in this league eventually. But as of right now, I like the move.
Well, let's head on up north and talk about we the North, the Toronto Raptors, as they just acquired Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans. That one was really surprising to me as well. And the Raptors get Brandon Ingram while the Pelicans receive Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a first and second round pick. What are your thoughts on this one?
I kind of didn't understand this one
I
because
didn't either.
I mean Toronto already have kind of a lot of wins, and like Toronto is like 16-35 right now, and I swear
Yeah.
Toronto is like kind of like a team who's like on the edge of like ninth, eighth seed, something like that, and
Hmm.
maybe and Brennan could probably get you over the edge just a little bit, but I kind of didn't understand this one. I mean, are you bidding for the future around Brandon Ingram? I mean, I don't like that too much. I mean,
He's
I think
aging.
I think you look at their roster, they have some decent players. You got a young Scotty Barnes, you got Emmanuel Quigley, you got RJ, now you got Brandon Ingram. I mean, they got some decent players, but I think for this season, I don't think it's gonna be them. Toronto's not made the playoffs or nothing. But I mean, maybe next year I do think they'll be a solid team. But yeah, that one was kind of surprising for me. I thought Pelicans probably would send Brandon Ingram to more of a contender. But yeah, that was kind of surprising.
Now, yeah, I'm with you on that. That was very surprising to me, but it does help. It does help Toronto put points on the board as well, because like you said, they're 16 and 35. They're struggling pretty bad this year. But you now have Grady Dick, Scotty Barnes, and you have Brandon Ingram, and you have some draft picks coming up too. So I think that they can run. They could, if as long as they manage as well, it'll turn out great for them.
Yeah.
Now, to head on back to this team right here,
Mhm.
even though we suck. Um, the Warriors finally got Curry even just a little bit of help. Finally. We acquired Jimmy Butler in a four-team trade. The Warriors got Jimmy Butler, and the Heat got Andrew Wiggins, Kyle Anderson, PJ Tucker, and a Warriors first-round pick with top 10 protection. The Jazz got Dennis Schroeder, who later sent him on to the Pistons, And the Pistons got Lindy Waters and Josh Richardson. That was a lot of moving. But personally, I'm very happy that the Warriors finally got Curry at least a little bit of help. I think that I honestly am feeling kind of questionable about this Jimmy Butler thing. I don't know if that's going to work out too well. But at the same time, when KD came to town, oh, you have two of the top scorers, that's not going to work out well. We got two rings. Now, I know I'm not comparing Jimmy Butler to KD. I will not do that at all. But it's kind of a similar situation. Like, you don't know how well it'll work out, but it could work out better, way better than people think it will.
Yeah, you know, obviously, yeah, I think the Warriors, as you know, the Warriors are very desperate to get
Yeah.
a star on side of Curry. I think the main deal was in this trade. The main reason why this trade went through was that Golden State and Jimmy Butler was able to reach an extension.
Hmm.
They gave him 60 million a year, but that can be a little questionable too. But me honestly, what's Golden State like? At what 10 seed right now?
Yeah, something
10
like
seed.
that. We're there. We're there.
Yeah, but you're not gonna like me for this, but yeah, it's Jimmy Butler, but I think Golden State's still a playing team in the West. Um,
Yeah. I can't be mad at you about that.
I think Golden State's still a playing team in the West. Yeah, Jimmy. I want to make sure. Playoff Jimmy can be deadly. You got to realize that
Yeah.
playoff Jimmy
Hmm.
can be deadly. I give Jimmy his credit, and I'm not counting out the Warriors anyway because when you have Curry on that court, they got a chance every night, and Jimmy can be deadly. And with Draymond playmaking and IQ and defensive energy, they can make something happen. But I would have liked to see Golden State go get a big too, somebody like Vucevic or something like that. And then, was you surprised Miami didn't try to get Kaminga in that trade?
Yes, I was very surprised, but I was also very happy because the Warriors, unfortunately, we lost Andrew Wiggins, who was a very vital part in that 2022 ring.
Yeah,
But you kept the main core of Podziemski, Moody, and Kaminga. So I was very happy about that. Our future still looks pretty decent for right now. As long as we can develop them properly and pay them properly as well, we should be in good hands with them.
yeah. I think Miami, they just really wanted to just get out of that relationship.
Yeah.
It was just
It's
about
just
time.
been
It
it's
was
been
just
too
about
much
time.
drama.
It was just about time to break up their relationship.
Yeah. But
But
that honestly shocked me about us keeping our young core. I was really happy about that.
I thought that he
But
would definitely wanted got Kaminga out that deal.
yeah, but as long as we keep our young core, I'm happy. That's all I really cared about. And another one that really surprised me, the Bucks traded away Chris Middleton for Kyle Kuzma of all people. That one was surprising. The Bucks got Kyle Kuzma, Patrick Baldwin Jr., and second round draft compensation, while the Wizards got Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, and a pick swap. This one I don't really know how to feel about that because the Wizards have been struggling for a long, long time, longer than you and I have both been alive.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, they probably get number one pick. They're bad.
yeah. But they I don't think they're going to develop him well, honestly, if they get that pick. But they definitely get a good bonus out of this trade though because they have championship experience from Chris Middleton when he won the ring like a couple years ago, and I think that'll greatly help this team, this struggling team at that, because outside of him, outside of him and Jordan Poole, nobody's been to the championship for
Yeah,
real. Well, they had Kyle Kuzma, but he's gone now.
it's guys.
But yeah, like they need all the help they can get. So I think that's great for them. And then I don't know how this Kyle Kuzma thing in Milwaukee's gonna work. So I want to see how that goes.
Yeah, but I would say, I kind of seen this Chris Middleton thing in Milwaukee come to the end. Before I say anything, I want to say Chris Middleton is a great player. He played a big role in that championship.
Hmm.
All the whole Milwaukee knows that. Giannis know that. All of them know that. But just after the injury and all that, it's not the same Chris Middleton no more. And everyone
Yeah.
knows that he's not the third star that everyone thought he was going to be. He's just not playing great basketball. He's getting up in age. But like I said, he played a big role in that championship team, and he should be. Wouldn't be surprised if they retire his number in Milwaukee. He's been great in Milwaukee his whole career.
Hmm.
And I think, they just looking for a younger wing and all that. And Kuzma's been playing great ball lately, and he's been boosting up that draft stock. So I kind of like the move from Milwaukee. And yeah. So yeah, I like the move from Milwaukee. And I understand it. You get a younger player. who could probably play better defense. I mean, I'm not saying he's that much better of a scorer than Chris Middleton, but I mean, on a given night, Kuzma can go out there and get you some buckets. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's not a bad trade, but it's very interesting, and I definitely want to see how that plays out for both teams. Now, on to the second most intriguing trade of this trade deadline. You have De'Aaron Fox packing it up out of the Sac Town, heading on over to San Antonio in exchange for Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine was a former Bull, and the Spurs got, excuse me, the Spurs got De'Aaron Fox and Jordan McLaughlin. The Kings get Zach LaVine, City Sissoko, sorry, a 2025 first and second round picks, 2027 first round pick, and two 2028 second round picks. A whole bunch of draft stock was out here getting traded and everything. So personally, I'm excited for this one because you have the reunion of Debo and Zach in
yeah,
Sacktown, and then you have Wemby, Chris Paul, and you have De'Aaron Fox in San Antonio. So I think Chris Paul should definitely mentor Zach or De'Aaron Fox for his time being. I don't know how long he'll be there, honestly, but I think that'll definitely help him in his career. And of course, the duo of him and Wemby would be very interesting to see. So I'm excited to see that myself.
yeah, yeah. I think I kind of seen this coming, but yeah, Spurs. Yeah, I think they always been trying to find that guy to pair with Wemby. De'Aaron Fox is
Hmm.
still young too, so this can be a duo for a while to be reckoned
It
with.
could be.
It's gonna be a duo for a while to be reckoned with. I love the trade, and I mean, Sack really did. I think Sack got some things back for this trade. They got some valuable pieces.
Yeah,
And you bring in, I mean, I know that Zach LaVine contract is not very pretty and what a lot of people want, but you bring in Zach LaVine who can score the ball. You got this Pitts, and you still got Monk playing good basketball, Sabonis and DeRozan. I think, I mean, I'm not saying they're just a threat in the West, but I mean, they possibly a play-in team or something like that, which is, But yeah, I think Foster and Wemby, bro, for the next couple of years, it's gonna be scary.
that's gonna be something nice right there. I can guarantee it. Now, for what started it all, oh my gosh. I'm gonna give you a little backstory. I just had gotten home from work on the day it happened at 11 o'clock. I just happened to get on Instagram just to see what was going on. 'Cause I knew it was trade deadline week, right?
Yeah,
All of a sudden, I see Luca, not Luca Garza, not Luca, that's a raw Luca. Luca Doncic got traded from the Mavs to the Lakers in exchange for Anthony Davis. Right
yeah,
after he said, "Yeah, I think we need another big on the team. I'll play my best ball at the four," and he ends up getting traded. Before I say anything about the details, give me your thoughts because I've been waiting to hear your thoughts all week.
yeah. I mean, like, bro, I mean, I was out with some friends having a fun, and it comes to my roommate's phone, and it's like comes like a police report, breaking news, like Luca traded to AD. Me and Luca traded to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. I look at him and say, huh? Like, nah, that's fake. They got hacked or something, blah blah blah. So I kind of didn't pay no attention for like 2 minutes or so, and then I couldn't get no signal. I'm on Instagram, so I go outside to get signal, and I just see it everywhere. I'm like, no way, this is real. And I didn't understand it at first. I'm like, why would Dallas be trading away Luka Doncic, a 25-year-old five-time NBA All NBA guy? I just didn't get it. And then we were trading AD. I just didn't think it made sense for either team at first. But I mean, now as you know, as it actually is reality, and you find out that it's real. I mean, as you know, I mean, I think the Lakers, us, we're we just didn't want to pass up on the chance of just saying you got Luka Doncic, 25 years old. This is your future. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, we kind of building for the future for after LeBron because LeBron's not gonna be that much longer. And then with Dallas, yeah, you traded for AD, which is probably one of the best two-way players in the league. And I mean, maybe you won this trade for the next 2 years, maybe. Maybe. I mean, I think that's all I see. You compete with that roster for like the next 2 to 3 years, maybe. But I mean, you gave up your whole future, and like some things had to really be going. Some things had to really be going on in Dallas, for you just to trade away Luca like that, and you didn't let them know about it, none of that. You screwed him out of 115 million. Some had to really been going on, and they talk about his conditioning that he got to 270. He just wasn't committed, and then in the finals he was a cone on defense the whole final series and got a lot of backlash from that. And he's been injured a little bit, but this season, but yeah, I just still don't understand how Dallas trading away their future like that. I mean, I'm not saying AD is not that guy. AD is a great player, but AD is 30. What's AD is like 32. Luka Doncic is still 25. He's a five NBA, all NBA type player. Like that just doesn't come very often. But hey, I mean, for my Lakers, hey, we'll take him. And like I said, we was able to get a big. So I mean, he's Mark Williams is not Anthony Davis, but I'm looking forward for the Luka and LeBron duo. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I am as well. And I want to say for you to keep it under wraps all this time. And then what's even crazier, the Mavs went to the Lakers. What Lakers was asking around. The Mavs went to them.
Yeah,
Hey, give us Mr. Glass, and we'll give you this guy who never works out.
yeah.
Like,
And they said
all over some conditioning too. Like you could have easily just like, okay, we're gonna force you to do this or whatever, or we're gonna like, take some money from your contract or whatever. And he would have probably done it. But for you to sit here and trade him now, and then he's with LeBron of all people. I know for a fact he's gonna take that trade to heart, especially when they match up later on this season. And
yeah,
he's gonna get in the best conditioning of his life, and especially with the good coaching of LeBron when it comes to taking care of your body. Oh my goodness. And then for the Lakers to go from LeBron as the face of the franchise to Luca, I, I don't even know what to say, man. Like I
yeah,
think that the Lakers definitely won this trade. And that's no knock to AD. AD is still that guy. I think him and Kyrie are like an awesome duo. But you have to understand what LeBron's doing, especially at his age, along with what Luca is and is capable of doing. That's just gonna outmatch the Mavs 10-1.
yeah. I mean, like Rob Lincoln said, when Nico first called him about it, he said, "Are you joking?" He thought it was a joke or something that you calling me to ask me to do. I want Luka Doncic. I just think the Lakers wasn't going to pass up on this deal. The Lakers are known for getting big stars. It's made for getting big stars. I mean, and they got one of the most global international players there is. And yeah, but I mean that Dallas starting five is not a bad starting five.
No.
I mean, they can definitely make some noise in the West. I mean, I think they have a great starting five. They have a great roster. And yeah, I mean, but I think it's not long term. It's short term. So I think I mean, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I still don't get it to this day. And a lot of people trying to say Luka and LeBron not gonna work out, man. Come on now, man. The best players find ways to make things work. You can say LeBron can't play off ball. LeBron can't play off ball. And
Hmm.
yeah. And LeBron will be more than happy to take a back seat at age 40 to Luka Doncic and let him cook up. So yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait for Saturday. I want you guys to tune in 4 o'clock. It's gonna be on live TV. Lakers versus Indiana. Luka Doncic debut, man. It's gonna be a movie. It's gonna be a movie.
Yeah, that's gonna be a very interesting game. I
Yeah,
know I'm
yeah.
probably
And
gonna
then once
watch it
again,
myself.
I think it's gonna come out soon. I mean, it had to be something going on behind the scenes in Dallas. It had.
Just once all this trade deadline stuff dies down and people start making their way onto the court for their new teams, eventually somebody's gonna say, okay, this is what happened, like leading up to this trade. Because there's no way something that big,
Because
especially that random too, just happens and does not get investigated.
because
So
like Dallas had to be like this fed up with Luca to just trade him away, and then they screwed him out of his money. He was set to sign that 5 year with 345 million,
yeah.
something like
Hmm.
that. And
And he
now,
lost 100.
yes, now he's on the be able to sign like a 5 year 200 something mil. So you screwed him out of that, and then Dallas have no state taxes and all that. Now he got to come to LA. Yeah, it's just they. I mean, Luca. I think Luca was really hurt about that. You can tell. And now I hope Luca comes in and playing with a chip on his shoulder, as I think he would. And like you said, he's with the guy who's probably got the best training and take care of his body the best out of anybody in the NBA. And I think that's great for him to learn from him. So yeah, I'm excited to see what my legs gonna do.
Well, after all that trade talk, I want to know who are your winners? Let's start off with the winners. Who are your winners of this year's trade deadline?
Winners. I think the two team. Well, of course, I'm going to go with my Lakers. I think we definitely won. I think we definitely won the trade deadline. You know, like I said, we got the future of we got the future, and you know, you get to pair with LeBron, a walking triple double can be the best scorer any day. Can get you 30 any given time, and then we was able to go get a big man, Mark Williams, great wingspan, can score, can rebound, can dunk the ball. And I think we filled in some gaps, and you know, and everyone keep talking about defense and that. I mean, we've been playing hard defense. We've been playing hard lately, and JJ really been scheming up some great defensive schemes. You know, we don't have to be a great defense, but we have to defend at a decent level. So I really think my Lakers won the trade deadline. I don't know. That's just not me, man, biased at all. But if you just think of the moves we made, yeah, Rob Pelinka finally looked like something now. You know, but I also gotta give a shout out to the Spurs. You know, I just think the moves with De'Aaron Fox pairing up De'Aaron Fox and Wemby, it's gonna be a dangerous duo. It's gonna be some wrecking to come. The West better get ready. And then I didn't have them doing that at first, but like I told you earlier, that was a great move by Cleveland. That was an amazing move by Cleveland. DeAndre Hunter's playing great basketball, and I think that's gonna, you know, it kind of was like Boston here, Cleveland here, and now it's kind of like, hey, I can see. But if Cleveland won out the East, I wouldn't be surprised at all with the roster they have and how they're playing right now. So yeah,
I have LA because you got Luca.
yeah.
There's anybody who gets Luca is a winner in that trade all the time, pretty much. Then I have Charlotte because you got a promising looking guy in Dalton Connect. I think that he's gonna go crazy down there, and I think he'll lead them to the playoffs. As him and LaMelo as a duo is going to be really nice to watch, along with Brandon Miller as well. That's going to be really interesting. So I think that those three are definitely going to bring them into the playoffs in the coming years. I also have Golden State because they finally got Curry some help with Jimmy, and it's a little biased, but I think that's also, great for them as well. I say the Heat because Andrew Wiggins, obviously he helped the Warriors in that 2022 ring. He can definitely he can make some waves and down there in South Beach as well. And then I have the Spurs because of course, you got De'Aaron Fox paired up with Wemby now, and that's gonna be a very scary duo. The Wizards are kind of like the lowest of the winners because you got more championship, people on your team with Chris Middleton. And then I have the Jazz because they were just getting free players and picks the whole time. Didn't really have to give anything up. And the Cavs, of course, because they got DeAndre Hunter as well. So that was also that'll definitely get them over the hump in the Eastern Conference as well, in my opinion. Now, as for your losers, who do you have?
I'm gonna go with I'm just gonna go with Dallas first.
Yeah.
I think if you don't win the championship here, you're kind of messed up, man. And yeah, I mean, if you win a championship, hey, Nico Harrison for right now, he look like he did the right thing. But I mean, you just trade away your whole future. I mean, if it was just conditioning, you could have got Luka in shape and all that. And once
Yeah.
again, I'm not taking that away from AD. I love AD and all that. But you trade away a 25-year-old, 5 times All NBA player. So yeah, I'm going with Dallas as the losers. And then who else would I go with? I'm gonna go with. I say I like to move from the Kings, but I just think De'Aaron Fox is just much better in that impact. I think him and Malik Monk blended in very well. And I mean, if Zach Levine can be the Zach Levine we hope he will be, maybe not. But as of right now, I think the Kings they didn't lose the trade, but they got rid of their best player on their roster. You know what I mean?
Now, for me, I have Dallas, obviously, because you traded away your future.
Yeah,
And then I have New Orleans as well because they've been with Brandon Ingram for forever and a
yeah.
day.
I forgot about that one. Yeah,
And all you pretty much have now is Zion. And Zion's like consistently hurt. So pretty much nobody, which is never a good thing. And then I have LA because yes, you won with Luca, but you also lost a vital piece in your future with Dalton Connect. The Kings, because they lost their main star power at De'Aaron Fox, which I think Zach and Debo and Sabonis and Valanciunas is going to be a great 4 out of the 5 starters, probably.
Yeah,
As my prediction, that would be those are going to be 4 of the 5 starters. And but you also lost a true point guard. Zach LaVine is more of a shooting guard. Debo's more of a small forward. You can interchange Sabonis and Valanciunas at power forward and center, but who's your true point guard?
yeah,
And I also have the Bulls because they lost that Levine, and the Bucks because I mean, yeah, like you said, Chris Middleton was on the decline, but he was very vital not only for the team and the chemistry, but like the locker room. Just having the team mesh together the same, like it won't mesh the same without him. And the Warriors, because like same thing, you lost Wiggins, who was vital in your 2022 ring, and he was very vital to that locker room, and now he's not there anymore. But you did get Jimmy, so you win and
yeah,
you lose. But also the Suns as well, because yes, you lost Nurkic, but I've also heard a bunch of speculation about the entire team's like just morality and locker room like morale is really low
yeah,
because you had all these speculations about Devin Booker possibly even leaving, which was very absurd, but those are rumors too. And then you had Bradley Beal, KD, all that, and then Nurkic actually left. So that whole team is just going through it right now with the trade deadline. But those are my losers for this trade deadline. I think this was probably one of the best trade deadlines in league history
yeah, by
because
far,
so much happened in such little time.
by far.
Like I will tell y'all, today I was writing in a bunch of these trades. Like I would write one in, 2 minutes later, ESPN, NBA trade alert. Like, I had to write down another one. It just kept coming time after time after time. So this was the most entertaining that in my memory, of course. So that was really the best thing about that. But I actually want to go back to that LA trade for Luca. I heard some things, and some things I heard was LeBron, GM, let's call him that for right now. GM over there was apparently blindsided and was at dinner with the fam as this trade happened. Do you really think he had nothing to do with this, or do you think he had some little pull in this little trade?
No, I actually don't think LeBron had nothing to do with this trade. As you know, every team LeBron's been on, the kind of moves kind of go through him. He confirms the moves. They always call him the GM, like you said. But with this one, I think he was actually, shocked by the news and blindsided by.
Hmm.
Because I mean, once again, I mean, LA is kind of saying, we're focused on trying to, we're focused on the future, so we're kind of going to start building around Luka Doncic, and so yeah, and I mean, like that's like LeBron been with AD for what 6 years. They won a championship together. It's just no way he was just going to just say, I agree to trade AD. So yeah, this was a
Yeah.
right move. No one knew about it. It shocked us just like it probably shocked him. And but I mean, the professional that he is, he understands that it's a business, and I mean, I'm pretty sure he's excited. He's ready to play with Luka Doncic. He's always said Luka Doncic has been one of his favorite players. Luka Doncic always said he looked up to LeBron. He understands it is a business, and like I said, like if LeBron, like he told him, if he was worried about the Lakers just not focusing on him no more, or he could have waived no trade clause and asked for a trade and got up out of there as soon as he heard about the trade. But so yeah. But LeBron is set in LA. Bronny is LA. His family's in LA. So yeah, me personally, I really don't think LeBron knew anything about that trade. But who knows?
Yeah, that's just one of those you'll never know cases, but personally I agree with you. I think he had nothing to do with it because you won a ring with him. And sure, you've had your ups and downs with coaching and teammates and all this and that, but y'all stuck through it, and
Mm-hmm.
y'all were like, y'all were tight. So I don't see why he would have wanted to trade away AD, but he's always given Luca his praise and vice versa, and he's always talked about that their chemistry's always been there. I mean, especially when you look at All-Star games, and I mean, I understand they weren't on the same team in like in one jersey when it comes to like playing for an actual team, but now they have that chance, and I think that this is definitely going to be a very interesting thing to watch. And I think they're ready to prove all the haters wrong that say, oh, this isn't going to work because they're two ball hogs, which is true, but I think LeBron could definitely play more off ball with Luca in town, and that
Yeah,
would make it more successful.
yeah, for sure.
And to stick with the West, let's go up to the top of the chart, the OKC Thunder. Their big man, Chet Holmgren, is planning on making a return. He plans to return Friday against the Mavs, and he's been sidelined since November. Do you think that the ceiling has been reached for this team, or do you think with Chet coming back, they're only going to get better and scarier for the rest of the West?
Yeah, I think they're only gonna get better. We know how great Chet Holmgren is, and obviously he's been a little banged up, but yeah, Chet Holmgren is a 7 footer who can shoot the three ball, block shots, don't finish strong in the paint. He can get 20-point guy on any given night. And I think OKC, if I'm not mistaken, OKC is already the number one defense in the NBA.
Hmm.
And now you bring that reputation from Chet Holmgren. Yeah, they're only gonna get better. Yeah, this young OKC team is dangerous. They're very good. They're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NBA. But yeah, they're only gonna get better from this. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, Harstein is still hurt. I think Harstein got hurt. You got to think about when
Hmm.
Harstein come back. They got those two big. They got those two guys right there. Yeah, OKC's gonna be always gonna go up from here.
Yeah. And I know they have that big monstrous man, SGA over there as well.
Yeah,
The the honestly my favorite for MVP this year.
yeah.
But
I think so.
I think that like that chemistry coming back when Chet's on the floor again, lobs, pass, like little dish offs, whatever, I think that's definitely gonna start coming back, and then they're gonna start getting the flow and everything's just gonna go right for them. So I'm really excited to see him return against the Raptors. And I also wanted to point something out to you since we're not too far off trade talk. Dennis Schroeder. This is quite an embarrassing stat, but he's been on four teams in the past 24 hours, which is probably one of the first, he's probably one of the first players to ever be on four or more teams in
Yeah,
less than a day. Because he was at Golden State, then originally, and when they originally acquired Butler, he was sent to Miami, and then he was sent to the Jazz, and then he was sent to
Detroit.
yeah, Detroit. That ain't gonna do nothing for him for real. But that's really surprising to me because I thought he was a great pickup when we first got him, but he didn't last long. And I mean, he helped us get Jimmy though, so I'm not mad at that. But it's just four teams in 24 hours is not at all a good look.
I mean, Schroeder's a decent player. He really got traded to Golden State because of how great he was playing in Brooklyn. He was
Yeah,
playing great basketball. It sucks that that he had to move on from Golden State. It's a business though, and I really don't think Miami was could use him. They got Terry Rozier and Hillero and all of them, so I don't think he gonna play a big role in that. And then Utah, honestly, they don't want to get that contract and all that. So I think Utah just bought him out and traded him to Detroit. I mean, Detroit is a decent team in the West. I mean in the East. Detroit been playing tough, physical, good basketball lately. But yeah, he's been on the move, man. But lately he probably have to go too many places because of how fast he's been getting traded, and now he's probably going to fly out to Detroit. But yeah, that's crazy. 14 to 24 hours. Yeah, he's just getting passed around right now, man.
yeah. And I want to go from the, not so happy of being on 14 to 24 hours side of things to the more joyful side. Let's get into the All-Star game. Everyone's second favorite time of year when it comes to basketball, with the March Madness following that, well, being first, but it's following that on the calendar. And let's talk about the rosters. I see here on Team Shaq, which is the UNC team, some would say, is LeBron, Steph, KD, AD, Jason Tatum, Dame, Harden, and Jalen Brown. That is a very stacked team, but a lot of those guys are aging. So, do you think their age is going to catch up to them in this game or this tournament, really, now that it's been formatted differently? Or do you think that who they are will shine through like it did back in the summer for most of these guys.
No, like I say, it's the All Star game, so it's gonna depend on how they're gonna play this All Star game. Is
Hmm.
everybody's gonna come out there and play a little hard and make it competitive, make it interesting, or are they gonna play around, having fun, and all that? But once again, I don't need to say this once again. We all know what that 40-year-old can do on any given night. And I don't need to praise something much at all, but we know he can give you a triple dub anytime he feels like at 40, which is crazy, but we're not getting to that. Then Steph, great shooter of all time. You still got KD. KD is still a walking bucket. Everybody knows that. And then I'm happy about the LeBron and AD reunion for the All Star game just after the trade. So I think that's very cool. But yeah, I like the team. Obviously, I mean, AD is the only big man, but I mean, yeah, I like the team.
And now, as for Team International, drafted by none other than Sir Charles Barkley, you have Jokic, Giannis, SGA, Wemby, Siakam, Alperen Sengun, Karl Anthony Towns, and Donovan Mitchell. Those last two are the only non-international players. So that's a lot of big men, a lot of them. And with that being said, outside of SGA and Donovan Mitchell, you don't have any guards. So they're going to be pretty tired. And I, although all those names together on one team is great, I don't really know if that's going to work out too well.
Yeah, probably not. And then I mean, especially like I always say, they playing All Star, they having fun. I mean, nobody really on that roster just fit for All Star, except for like All Star games types, except probably like Giannis, maybe Wemby and Donovan. And Segun, the other guys, they just not all that athletic. They're not gonna put the flashy stuff and all that. So, like, yeah, like for example, like the All Star game is just not made for Jokic. Jokic probably not going to play that much and nothing like that. It's just not made for Jokic is the best player in the NBA, but Jokic is just not all that athletic. It's not made for the athletic guys and all that. So yeah,
Now, for this team coming up, this is Team Kenny. I question Kenny on this team for several reasons. But the main thing is we just gotta go with it. We just have to trust the vision because he might know something we don't.
yeah.
He might. He got all the young blood. I'll call him Team Young Blood right here. This
Mm-hmm.
is Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Jalen Williams, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Cade Cunningham, and Tyler Hero. This is honestly very interesting to me because you have, outside of Mobley and Jackson, you have all guards. So kind of the same thing that it is for Team Chuck or reverse. You're gonna have, a lot of guards with no bigs. So I don't know if that's gonna work out either, but they're all young and they're all if anybody was to make it competitive, it would be them. Hands down,
Yeah,
it would be them of all people. So
yeah,
I think that's probably what he was going for was to get a very competitive team, and I can respect that. But I would have thought he wanted at least to get one of the three heads of the triple GOAT with LeBron, KD, and Steph. So but we'll see how it goes, I guess.
yeah, yeah. He's definitely got some young guys who he probably think just gonna be able to run the floor and push the pace. Um, play some hard defense or something like that. I was very surprised by his roster, as he really got no kind of like veteran or experienced player. But maybe like you said, maybe he knows something that we don't. We will see though. And if I'm not mistaken, the All Star game goes like two teams will play. Two teams will play each other, and then one out of those two teams go to like the final thing or something like that.
I think it's those three teams and
If the
the
winner out of round,
Rising Stars team.
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah. So that'll be very interesting to watch. But let's head on over from the NBA, which has had a very, very wild week. And let's talk about its sister league, the WNBA.
keep young.
So, three-time All-Star Brianna Jones will sign with the Atlanta Dream. Jones is a three-time WNBA All-Star who won Most Improved Player in 2021 and the 2022 Sixth Player of the Year award, and she spent her entire career at the Connecticut Sun up to this point. I personally think it's a great pickup for the Dream. I I think she'll definitely help out that team. I'll just leave it at that. I just think she'll definitely help out that team.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's a good pickup. If I'm not mistaken, I think the Connecticut Sun they like got rid of their whole star lineup. Then
Hmm.
I think from last year, or was that the Mercury?
I think that was the Sun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know it should be. I think they got their whole star lineup or something like that. And now, so they kind of gonna rebuild mode. And then she went to Lemon Dreams. Lemon Dreams can been kind of bad team lately, so I'm pretty sure they got an early draft pick. So whichever Ricky they draft, you got a great mentor right here, as you said, 3 time WNBA All Star, Most Improved Award, Sisley Award. So yeah, I think it's a good pickup and a veteran move. It can be a great mentor to those young guys, young girls that's coming up in WNBA. So I like that.
Now, for some WNBA history. This is the first time ever I'll say multiple number one overall draft picks were involved in one trade. Kelsey Plum, a three-time WNBA All-Star and two-time Olympic gold medalist and two-time champion, was traded from the Las Vegas Aces to the LA Sparks. In return, the Aces get former Rookie of the Year, six-time All-Star, and two-time champion Jewel Lloyd. Seattle Storm acquired Lee Uru and the number two pick in this upcoming draft. Like I said, this is the first time in WNBA history that a trade involves multiple number one picks. This will be very interesting because I thought that Kelsey Plum and Aja Wilson meshed well together in Las Vegas, but she'll have a fresh start in the LA Sun, or not like, you know what I mean, like this. No, she'll be in LA,
Yeah.
and yeah, I think that'll be a very good opportunity for her to start over, and I want to see how this goes, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, they had a great run in Las Vegas, won 2 championships with Angel Wilson. Yeah. I kind of had a feeling that the team's gonna get broke up a little bit. As you see, they lost Sid too. They lost a lot of good players. They brought in some people, but yeah, Lil
Hmm.
Jordan is great. You paint her with the best WNBA player in the league. Angel Wilson was just phenomenal, unstoppable, and yeah. So yeah.
Also, I also want to shout out Aja Wilson and Caitlin Clark because they both got their jerseys retired on the second, which was kind of funny because February 2nd, 22. It's all whatever. But yeah, on to
Or imagine WWE. I mean, I wouldn't say don't cut out those spots. You bring Kelsey Palmer there, and don't you got Rakia Jackson? You got Kevin Brink. You got some young dolls over there. So yeah, I think
mhm.
they'll be a decent team. So
Yeah, it'll be a good. I want to see how far they can make it into the playoffs this upcoming year.
yeah,
And now, as for everyone's favorite sport, well, the level of the sport, college basketball. Iowa State, who was ranked number three, not too long ago, drops three straight: Arizona, Kansas State, and Kansas. Ugh, not looking too good for them. Tennessee has also struggled recently, winning four of their last eight games, and they are now 5-4 in the SEC. Houston, Marquette, Michigan State, Kentucky, Kansas, Mississippi State, it's a long list, Louisville, Vanderbilt, and Iowa State all fall, most of which were ranked teams, and they all lost bad. A lot is going on in in the college basketball world. It really is. Everything is shaking up. And I also want to talk about that Kentucky Arkansas game. That one right there was something special.
boy,
Calipari returns to Rupp.
yeah. I say way to go in there. They booed him and all that. And he went in there. He handled his business, and he did it
Hmm.
the professional way. I mean, you know, like I say, I always said, with the team that he had, I feel like he should have won more championships, but he did win one. Calipari's a
Hmm.
great coach. I mean, I think he kind of went in there with this statement. I'm finna show y'all what y'all missed. What y'all still could have had, what y'all wasn't grateful for. So yeah, that was a great win by Arkansas.
Yeah, they really showed out that game. And
And like,
Kentucky, uh, not the best look because I know they showed a graphic during the game. saying that Calipari had the most wins in Rupp Arena at 234. This was obviously prior to the game's conclusion. But
Yeah,
now it is 235, given the fact that he just beat them for a different team, but still in Rupp Arena. So a
yeah.
lot has been going on.
And to recap, like all them teams you said losing, I mean, I think that just showed how good college basketball, how good all the teams are in college basketball.
Hmm.
It's a very tough league. So yeah,
Because it shows you how tight, like the SEC, the ACC, the Big Ten, and the Big 12, all those conferences are very tight when it comes to like the rankings and everything. Like, one team, like the best team in this conference can lose to one of the lower seeds. You saw with Arkansas and Kentucky.
yeah.
So anything can happen. College basketball is anybody's game any night. You have one bad night that can honestly ruin your season too. But well, yeah. So all that has been going on, but let's not forget about that other sport as well. Let's talk about some football. What you got for us?
Hey man, we got Super Bowl Sunday this Sunday, man.
Yep.
But everybody been waiting for, man. The biggest stage of all, in my opinion. This the biggest game in all the sports. So this is what everybody been waiting for. As you know, you got the Kansas City Chiefs,
Ugh.
and you got them Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, I think it's going to be another great Super Bowl. This is the second time they're going to meet in like the past 3 years in the Super Bowl. The last one was a great game, obviously a thriller. Mahomes got the ball last, he punched it in. To me, like I say, Jalen Hurts outplayed Mahomes in that game. But I'm not going to say too much. What do you think are going to be the biggest keys to winning, and then who do you got winning this game?
The biggest keys to winning for the Chiefs have always been able to put up points. I will say that. They've put up points pretty well all season, all the playoffs as well. And their defense has done well as well. But I think their main priority should be Saquon.
Yeah,
Their main priority, Offensive Player of the Year, Saquon Barkley. Stopping him will greatly like halt the Eagles from doing anything in this Super Bowl. I mean, of course, we have Jalen Hurts can go and throw for a bunch of yards as well, just like Devontae Smith can get open and all that. But their offense runs through Barkley. So as long as you can stop him, I've been saying this whole time. You stop Barkley, you stop majority of the offense of the Eagles. And as for the Eagles, of course, feed Barkley. You've been doing it all season. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep up with what you're doing. And I honestly think if you make the Chiefs defense struggle, you're in the game. You are definitely in the game.
yeah.
And as for my winner, I honestly am gonna take the hot take route. I'm gonna say the Eagles are winning this. I'm gonna say the Eagles are gonna win this by way of, if not a touchdown, a field goal.
Okay.
I got that. Who do you have? What are your keys, and who do you think is gonna win?
Obviously, everyone can say about the Eagles. Everyone say, stop the run, you win the game, stop Saquon. Yeah, but it's not that easy to do that. The Eagles have
Yeah, exactly.
probably, probably one of the best offensive line in football. Those guys get to
Hmm.
the next level, and Saquon's just been Saquon. Like these guys can bust. I mean, I think you gotta like Saquon is probably going to get his, but you gotta make sure this guy don't bust for 16, bust for 80, and bust for 70. And I mean, and I think Jalen Hurts is key. Jalen Hurts is going to be key. He's going to be key on these third downs and short. When he needs to throw the ball, when he needs to make a play, can he go out there and can he make this plays? Can he make more plays than Mahomes? I think that's going to come down to the key and when you need to, because we know when Mahomes needs it, he goes and gets it. So, like I said before, Jalen Hurts outplayed Mahomes in that last Super Bowl. It's very unfortunate that Jalen Hurts lost, but Jalen Hurts can be an elite quarterback at an elite level when he needs to sometimes, and he's definitely going to need it in the Super Bowl because he's going to go against a pretty good Chief defense who is really not that great talent wise, but speaking that Matt Nolan, he's just a great schemer. He schemed things up very well, and they just find ways to confuse you. So yeah, I think that and for the Chiefs, I mean the Chiefs just have to be the Chiefs if they want to win. Just keep it a close game, keep it into their range. Chiefs love close games. That's what they live for. That's what they live for. One possession games. Like I'm gonna say again, I think this game probably come down to who get ball last. I mean, obviously the Chiefs kind of got last year and they won. I think it's gonna come down to who get ball last. So yeah, and then my prediction, I already told you, I'm going with the Eagles, man. I hope the Eagles win. I'm going with the Eagles. I think the Eagles defense is much better than they were last time they played in last Super Bowl. The Eagles
Hmm.
defense is actually legit. They was the best defense in football for a reason. They got DBs. I think they can find a way to take Kelsey out the game and make it a little bit harder on Mahomes. And they got a defensive line. Jalen Carter and all of them is going to be on Mahomes, but they're going to be after Mahomes. Hey, hopefully the referees, don't give them a 15-yard penalty roughing the passer. But I know Jalen
Hmm.
Carter and all those guys is going to be hunting for Mahomes. So yeah, I'm going with the Eagles. Um, but yeah, I mean, if the Chiefs win in three-peat, man, all respect. I'm not gonna lie, all respect. And they probably go down as one of the best dynasty to ever exist if they pull off this three-peat.
Hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if the Chiefs were to win this game because you just never
I
want
wouldn't be either.
just
Yeah,
never want to count out Mahomes.
exactly. Now, one thing that definitely shocked me in the NFL world was the fact that Miles Garrett is asking out of Cleveland. I I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I understand Cleveland's been struggling for a long time, and he's been their main guy, especially on defense. But man, I didn't think. I mean, I knew it was going to come eventually, but I didn't think it was going to be this soon. So, with that being said, where would you like to see him play?
Yeah, first off with that, I was say, I mean, he's did more than his due diligence there.
Hmm.
Miles Garrett has been a phenomenal defensive player in his run. Like, what they only made the playoffs, two times? They lost both of them, but they lost first round that time, and they lost to the Chiefs in a heartbreaker. He's just been just an all time great defensive player. So and then now, I mean, you look at the Browns right now; they're not in a position to win. And I
Yeah.
mean, and Miles Garrett is still in his prime. And I think he's saying, bro, well, I'm still in my prime, bro. I need to be in a position on a team that is in position to win and that want and can compete for championships. I think that's what his mindset is. And I think the Browns should totally respect that. He stayed down with you guys from the start. He stayed it through, and now he see that you guys are slowly trying to go through a rebuild. And I don't think he wants to be a part of that rebuild. So, and if I had a choice for him to go, I think Washington is definitely a choice. As you know, Washington, they're young, they're feisty. Did you see what they just did with the roster that they have? They just went to the NFC
Hmm.
Championship. I think a lot of people are going to want to play with Jay Daniels and for Dan Quinn and the way that he coaches and the way he got that team together. So I could see Washington being a possible threat. And then, I mean, people might think I sound crazy for this, but I won't be surprised if the Eagles called them Brown.
Hmm.
Eagles could definitely use him, and the Eagles got the pieces to trade for him. I mean, I know
They do.
everybody said the Eagles is already good, but why not get better? You bring in a guy like Miles Garrett. I mean, plus that with the roster you already have, that could be very dangerous. And also, if he's willing to stick it in for about 2 more years, I don't think he would go there. But if the Patriots are somehow able, to draft like a Travis Hunter or somebody or something like that, and then go sign a T. Higgins, which T. Higgins is probably one of the league paid. It's been talks about him probably staying in Cincinnati, probably not. But yeah, obviously they need a quarterback. T. Higgins would be the number one guy there, and the Patriots need pass rush too. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he will. I think the Patriots kind of like a low percentage chance, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes and plays under defensive minded head coach on Mike Vrabel.
Now, as for me, I would personally say I want to see him in purple and black. I want to see him in purple and black over there in Baltimore. And I say that because you've seen what the offense can do. The offense was phenomenal this year. They had their slip ups. I will say that, but overall, I think this was a great year for the offense. The defense was very, very inconsistent though, and I definitely think with veteran leadership of Miles Garrett and that like him, I feel like he would definitely bring the defense as a whole together, and with him being on that pass rush as well, that will definitely set us over the hump in the AFC and probably get us past the Chiefs, honestly. in the coming years. So I think that him going over to Baltimore would definitely help them get to the Super Bowl and win. And then, of course, not only give him a ring, but give Lamar a ring, who everyone wants to see win a ring.
Yeah,
Because,
I was
nobody wants to see Mahomes win a ring again. So,
I was gonna say
yeah.
yeah.
But America, I want to say today was a sad day. Today was a very sad day because some people got robbed, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But these NFL awards, just a lot of them sit right with me. A lot of them do, but it's one in particular, and I'm sure you know what that one is. Let's start. Let's go ahead and rip the
But
Band-Aid off. Just rip the Band-Aid off and say it. MVP was Josh Allen. MVP was Josh Allen. And yes, I think Josh Allen he had a phenomenal season, and yes, he is deserving of it. But me, obviously, with my bias, I'm a Ravens fan, but I think Lamar deserved that one more. Lamar, he passed Mike Vick all time rushing. You know, he had 4,000 pass yards and like 800 rushing or something like that. It was something like that. He broke a bunch of records, but I think it came down to what he had to work with, and of course the head-to-head matchup that ended up having him lose that and having it go to Josh Allen instead. Josh Allen had less to work with and beat him in the playoffs. So I think that's definitely what helped him overall in that race. And then, of course, everybody knew this was coming. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jaden Daniels, making us Jaden look strong. So I'm happy to see that, well deserved. He brought a nothing team to something, and they're gonna be something in years to come, that's for sure as well. And then, of course, Offensive Player of the Year was Saquon Barkley. It's no surprise. No surprise at all. Then Defensive Rookie of the Year was Jared Verse. Also, not very surprised there. Defensive Player of the Year was Pat Surtain II, and Comeback Player of the Year was Joe Burrow. I'm very happy that Joe won that. Joe deserved it. Because all honesty, like I said this before, if Joe Burrow had a team with a decent record, he would have been top two. And it probably would have been Lamar, or not Lamar, Joe and Josh in the conversation. And that's coming from a Lamar Jackson fan. So
yeah,
yeah, I think he definitely would have been up there if he had a decent team.
yeah. I was gonna say I'm not surprised that Josh Allen won. I mean, as you know, Lamar by far had the better stats, and then you gotta look at Lamar's team. Lamar had the better team, and Josh Allen still
Yeah.
finished with the best record, with the better record, with the team that he worked with and what he had.
Hmm.
So I give props to Josh Allen for that. And then
Yeah.
I think people kind of realize, they used to do it in the NBA a little bit. They do it now in the NFL. I mean, when guys keep winning MVP awards, they try to find the best way to not keep giving it to the same guy. And I think that kind of played a factor too. And then
Yeah.
so I mean, I don't think it's bad for business that you give Lamar 3 straight MVPs, which he should have deserved. But yeah, I think you had to kind of get Josh Allen that one, to kind of spread it out. That's just what they do. It's a weird thing. They kind of do it in the NBA sometimes too with that because I don't want to get to that topic, but I feel like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant and all of them could have had way more MVPs than they got. But yeah, and then and they're not going to say that the head-to-head match is supposed to be a regular season award. But I think the head-to-head matchup played a big role. And Josh Allen won the head-to-head matchup. Even though Lamar outplayed Josh Allen in that game, but Josh Allen
Hmm.
won that game. So I think that played a big role into it. And then the offensive rookie of the year, I think it was a no-brainer. Jaden Daniels wins that. I mean, Bo Nix had a great season too. And let me not get
Yeah.
that. Bo Nix played phenomenal with that Broncos offense. And I think they're going to be great in the next couple of years. And the offense player of the year, I mean, this guy could have won MVP. I mean, with the
Yeah.
numbers he put up, I'm very sad he didn't go for the record. But I mean, yeah, that one's obvious. Defensive rookie of the year, Jared Verse, not surprised by that one. Guy had a tremendous season. That Rams defensive line was a sneaky young defensive line, and they did that without Aaron Donald this year. And so I think they're going to get even better in the future. And then defensive player of the year, They gave it to a cornerback again, Patrick Surtain. He's always say he's the best corner in football. He's a lockdown. People barely target him. He does give a lot of passes. He does give the deep ball. He's a disciplined, great corner. I feel like he truly deserved that one. And then come back of the year, I think that was obvious too. It's Joe Burrow. If Joe Burrow had a decent record, I know you said he'd probably be top two. If he had a decent record in the playoffs, I got him winning
Yeah.
the award because you just look at his numbers and what he was able to do this season. The guy was playing out of his mind. And I mean, if he just had a little bit of defense in some of those games, they would have been in the playoffs. And maybe I'm not saying they would have beat the Chiefs, but hey, we know he done it before, and I wouldn't be surprised if he
Yeah.
would have did it again. So yeah, I'm not surprised by none of that, but yeah. And with that, man, I think that wraps it up for today, man.
Yep. That wraps up this episode. Thank y'all for tuning in, like you always do. And like we're gonna keep saying it every episode, might get tired of it, whatever. We're gonna keep saying it. It's a process. We're gonna get there eventually. Just stick with us.
Yeah,
And we're very thankful for y'all too. I wanna reiterate that we are very thankful for all y'all fans out there watching us and just keeping up with us and whatever we're doing. It's very much appreciated for me and from him. And with that being said, that wraps up today's episode. Be sure to follow us on sorry, I can't talk, on Instagram, beyond.bounds.podcast, and as well on TikTok, and subscribe to us on our YouTube channel as well. And that's about it.
yeah. We're sorry for the little break, you guys. Sometimes life is life, and we have to
Hmm.
be busy. But we're gonna promise to try to keep producing content weekly and daily as much as we can. So that's all good. That is our promise and goal to you guys. Yeah, thank you guys. And with that, like he said, man, beyond bounds out. Thank y'all.